God is speaking directly to you now, and His voice moves through the quiet places of your heart like a soft, certain wind. This blessing that is coming is not meant to stop at your doorstep. It is designed to flow, to reach every room, every table, every resting place in your home. If you have carried burdens in silence, if you have whispered prayers for parents, for a partner, for children, for siblings, know this: every quiet plea has been heard, and God is answering with a collective release. You may have been the steady one through seasons of uncertainty, the pillar who bore weight so others could breathe. That season of carrying alone is changing. A provision is arriving that does more than repair a single life. It brings shared relief, stability where there was trembling, unity where there was strain. Tensions begin to soften, conflicts lose their sharpness, and the voice of lack begins to quiet in your household. This overflow will begin with you, your heart, your home, your stewardship, but it will not stop there. God is entrusting you not only with resources, but with wisdom and a gentle authority to steward what comes. You will lead not from pressure, but from a renewed place of rest. Doors will open not just for your dreams, but for the needs and callings of those you love. Watch as opportunities align, as relationships mend, as peace settles where worry once lived. Receive this slowly, like breath. There is a holy, expansive unfolding already in motion. Prepare your heart to welcome more than provision. Prepare to be a conduit of blessing. Trust that when He moves, no one is left out. Are you ready to see how this blessing will overflow into your family? Leave a quiet comment below about one area in your household where you long to see God's care. Then stay with me. Watch the next video to receive the next word for this unfolding season. You have been carrying weight most people never see. Night after night, you whispered small prayers over balances, over overdue notices, over hopes for tuition and a steady roof. Quietly, faithfully, you became the anchor. Now, listen, that season of carrying alone is changing. A gentle, sovereign hand is releasing an overflow through you, not to keep, but to give away. Feel it slow and steady, like a river swelling toward the shore. Provision comes first to you. Yes, but it does not stop at your doorstep. It moves through walls and into kitchens and into bedrooms where conversations about money once clung to the air like tension. Debts that felt immovable begin to shift. Opportunities arrive, a new job, a client, a cleared account, each one designed to lift your household, to loosen the tight places, and to usher in rest. This is not mere chance. It is a deliberate unfolding. God is trusting you not only with increase, but with wisdom, the kind that steadies hearts, that teaches budgeting with grace, that opens conversations around legacy and security. You'll find your voice calm and sure. Family members who once argued over scarcity will start to speak with gratitude and plan with hope. Walls of fear soften. Unity grows because relief is shared. Do not mistake ease for complacency. You are being equipped to steward this blessing well, with humility, discernment, and courage. Doors will open for education, for business, for healing of old financial wounds. You will see provision show up in practical ways and in moments that feel almost sacred. Unexpected checks, timely offers, a hand reaching out when you needed it most. Can you sense where this overflow will first touch your home? Picture it: a table free of worry, a child's future taking shape, a partner breathing easier. Hold that picture. Then tell me below, what is one financial burden you're ready to release into God's hands? In the next video, we'll walk through how to steward what He entrusts to you, and how to lead your household into the blessing that's already on the way. You have been more than strong. You have been a shelter. You carried weight that others couldn't yet bear. You whispered prayers late into the night for mouths that depend on you, for parents who once guided you, for children whose futures you imagine. God heard each hush, each quiet petition. Now He is widening the doorway of that answer so it pours through your home. This blessing is not meant to end with you. It arrives as a tide that lifts the whole household. Relief where there was strain, clarity where confusion clouded decisions, rest for those whose shoulders have been tense for too long. You will notice it in small ways first: a softened tone at the kitchen table, a bill that finds a way to be paid, a conversation that turns toward hope instead of fear. Those shifts are not accidental. They are intentional. a sacred unsealing of what God has been holding in reserve. Along with provision, He is giving you something steadier than money, wisdom. You will feel a new clarity about how to steward what comes, how to set healthy rhythms, how to lead with humility so that provision blesses everyone, not just a single room. This is leadership of the quiet kind. Decisions made at dawn, prayers offered with steady hands, boundaries set with love so abundance can flow without breaking what matters most. Prepare your heart to receive and to give. Open the doors in your home in prayer and practice. Let conversations be honest. Let rest be real. As the strain eases and tensions soften, unity will grow. You are being entrusted to steward more than resources. You are being entrusted to steward peace. Wondering what the first sign of this overflow will look like in your life? Share one place in your home that needs this blessing. Who will breathe easier when it comes? Watch the next video to discover the first practical step God is asking you to take as this blessing begins to move. You feel at first as a soft unfastening, like a door that you didn't realize was latched finally easing open. This blessing that arrives for you does not come as something to tuck away, but as a current meant to flow, through walls, through rooms, from your hands into the hands of those who have leaned on you. For years you may have been the shelter in storm, the quiet provider who swallowed worry to keep others breathing. Now that burden is lifting, not by your strength alone, but because something greater has decided to move. Imagine the table where your family gathers. Conversations that once skirted around fear become honest. Laughter grows fuller. The tightness around shoulders loosens. Provision shows up not only in numbers and accounts, but in the softening of voices, in the repair of a relationship, in rest that finally rests, the kind that stays. Where there was scarcity, a subtle confidence settles. Decisions are made with calm, not panic. Plans are spoken aloud instead of tucked away in secrecy. God is entrusting you with more than supply. He is placing wisdom and a quiet leadership in your heart, the kind that knows when to open a door and when to close it, when to speak and when to listen. Stewardship will call you to tenderness and discernment, to walk this overflow with humility so that what sustains you also sustains them. You are not being asked to hoard blessing, but to be a conduit, to shepherd what comes with integrity. So prepare your heart with expectancy and prayer, and prepare your home with gentleness and truth. Watch how provision ripples. Siblings find footing, parents breathe easier, children inherit stability they did not ask for but desperately need. This is not mere chance. It is deliberate, communal grace. When God moves, He moves through households. Are you beginning to sense who in your home will be touched first? Leave a comment with the name or the quiet place in your heart that needs relief. Speak it, even softly. Stay with me for the next video. We will explore how to steward this opening so the blessing lasts and grows. Hear this slowly. The blessing you've been waiting for is not meant to stop at your doorstep. It comes through you so it can flow through you, into the rooms where your family laughs, into the quiet corners where worry used to sit. For years you have carried weight that was not yours to bear alone. You have whispered prayers at midnight for a partner, for a child's future, for aging parents, for a sibling who needed hope. I have heard each quiet plea. Now I answer, not just to relieve you, but to relieve them. Feel the shift like a deep, sacred inhale. Stability is arriving where decisions once felt fragile. The provision that comes will steady the table, soften conversations, and give rest to bones that have been braced for storms. You will notice tension easing, old arguments losing their grip, the small anxieties that tighten the household becoming softer, as if light has poured into a room that had been dim for too long. This overflow begins with you because I trust you. I am giving you more than resources. I am giving you wisdom to steward it well. This is a call to lead, not with harshness, but with humility. Invite your family into the light of what is coming. Share vision as well as bread. Teach your children how to receive without shame and how to steward with gratitude. Hold your loved ones gently as they adjust. Some will need time to believe this blessing is for them too. Do not hoard what I send. When you open your hands, the flow remains steady. Use discernment, yes, but let generosity be your first language. The doors that open for you will swing open for those under your roof. Expect unity to grow where there was strain, and expect rest to root where there was unrest. I have begun this work, You are the instrument of its spread. Watch how households around you begin to breathe again. Curious where the first door will open in your life? Share one place in the comments where you need this blessing to land. Your words matter. Stay with me for the next video. I will show you how to steward what's coming, step by steady step. Hear this as if God speaks to you now. The blessing coming to your life is not meant to stop at your doorstep. It begins with you, soft, sure, like a current beneath calm water, and then it moves outward, carrying relief for every person tied to your heart. The prayers you whispered in quiet rooms, the burdens you bore so others could breathe, God has counted every one. Now he answers, not for one, but for the whole household. You may have been the steady anchor in storms, the one who carried weight so others could rest. That season of carrying alone is changing. Provision is arriving that steadies what was uncertain, that mends strained places, that brings rest where there was unrest. Tensions that kept voices sharp will soften. Lack will begin to lose its grip. What comes to you will ripple. Stability for your partner, unexpected doors for your children, a new peace for aging parents. This is deliberate. It is by divine design. God is entrusting you with more than money. He is giving wisdom to lead, discernment to steward, and a heart to release. You are not being made wealthy to hoard, but to be a conduit. As provision comes, practice receiving with humility and giving with intention. Speak blessing over your home. Forgive what needs to be forgiven. Set practical boundaries that honor both the gift and the family who will share in it. Imagine the table. Conversations that were once tight now open, a weight lifted from shoulders that have carried responsibilities alone. Picture doors cracking open, job opportunities, restored relationships, sudden provision for debts and needs, so that everyone under your roof can move with less fear. So I ask you, what is one way you want God's provision to touch your household? Share a single hope in the comments, one honest line. Be curious about how this will unfold. Hold fast to expectation. In the next video, we'll slow down and map practical steps and prayers to steward this overflow well. Stay with me. There is more coming. You have carried more than you thought you could. You stood in the doorway of night after night, balancing needs, paying bills, holding space for worry so others could breathe. You learned to be quiet about your own fear because someone had to be steady. Hear this now. That season is changing. Slowly, gently, powerfully. What God is doing for you will not stop at your door. Imagine a current beginning in your heart and moving outward. The blessing arrives first to you, soft at the edges, certain at the center. It reaches the kitchen table where conversations once ended in sighs. It touches the rooms where tension lived. It settles over the bedrooms where rest has been rare. Your family will feel it. Siblings, partners, parents, children. Each life touched by the overflow you were meant to carry, not alone, but together. God is not merely sending resources. He is sending discernment, timing, and a quiet authority to lead with wisdom. You will find decisions become clearer. Opportunities present themselves with a nudging you cannot ignore. Doors that were hinges of rust will open with ease. This is not about sudden wealth as the world counts it. It is about provision that creates peace, that repairs relationships, that gives breath to hope. Walk into this with humility and courage. Stewardship will be the language of your household. Share what arrives. Teach your children how to receive and how to give. Invite your partner into the vision. Pray together, rest together, plan together. When God releases abundance through one life, He intends a released life for many. Now pause and feel the shift. What is the first place in your home that needs this peace? Leave a brief comment below, a single sentence of honesty or gratitude. Your words may be the seed of someone else's relief. Curious about the practical way this unfolds? In the next video, we will explore the small, faithful steps God uses to steward overflow for a whole family. Don't miss it. You feel it like a soft shifting of wind through an open window, a movement that begins in your chest and travels quietly through every room of your home. This blessing does not stop at your door. It gathers at the threshold and steps inside, meeting the tired chairs, the unpaid bills, the whispered prayers you thought were only yours. Where you once carried the weight alone, relief arrives like dawn, slow, inevitable, holy. Imagine a table set not just for you, but for your loved ones. Provision spreads across that table, Stability where there was uncertainty, rest where there was unrest. Arguments that circled and circled begin to dissolve, like footprints erased by a gentle tide. The tension in conversations softens. The financial tightness that clenched your chest loosens its grip. This is not mere luck. This is deliberate, tender, divine overflow moving through you and outward. You are being entrusted with more than resources. Wisdom comes as a quiet companion, a lamp placed in your hands to light the path of stewardship. Leadership arrives not as pride, but as a humble calling to guide what has been given. You don't have to figure it all out at once. Step by step, door by door, God is teaching you how to steward well, for yourself and for those who rely on you. Feel the freedom in knowing that families heal when one heart begins to rest. Your patience opens spaces for reconciliation. Your trust becomes the soil where hope grows. And as this blessing moves, it rewrites the story of scarcity into one of shared abundance. Curious what the first sign of this change will look like in your household? Pause and listen for the small, surprising shifts: a paid bill, a softened conversation, a meal shared without worry. Leave a comment naming one quiet prayer you've carried for your family. Let others witness this step of faith with you. When you're ready, the next video will walk you through the first practical step God is inviting you to take towards stewarding this overflow. This is the gentle close of what God has been whispering over you. Hear this clearly. The blessing arriving at your door is not meant to stop with you. It is flowing, widening, finding its way into the rooms and relationships you have carried in silence. You who have held burdens for others, parents who need steadiness, children who need provision, partners who need peace. God is releasing a relief that moves beyond your shoulders and into the heart of your household. Feel the gravity of that promise. The season of carrying alone is loosening. Where you once labored through nights of worry, a new steadiness is being placed in your home. Arguments that wore at the edges of your peace begin to soften. Bills and fears that spoke loudly in the dark lose their hold. Provision arrives not as a fleeting fix, but as a stabilizing presence that invites rest and unity. This overflow starts with you, yes, but it is designed to spread. You are being entrusted, not just with resources, but with wisdom and the quiet leadership needed to steward what comes. God is preparing doors to open for you and those you love. That means conversations will turn kinder, decisions will align, and opportunities will be shared. Stay vigilant in humility. Lead with gratitude. Teach your household how to receive and how to give. Breathe in this truth. God is caring for your family. When He moves, no one is left out. So set your heart to readiness. Clear the space in your mind for miracles to move naturally into daily life. Let your faith translate into small acts of trust, and watch how those acts widen into tangible change for your whole home. What door might open next for you and your family? Reflect on that. Leave a comment below about what this promise means for your household. One sentence, one hope. Your words may remind someone else they are not alone. When you're ready, go on to the next video to receive the next step in this unfolding word.